Hi, this is Chef Rob with Aortic Hope,
This is Mindy Seltzer, registered dietitian with Aortic Hope,
and welcome to episode 7 of the Aortic Kitchen.
season 2.
Thank you all for being here today. So, we're going to do a fun, it's coming into springtime, so we do a nice fun brunch that'll take us into spring and summer. Some nice simple dishes. And we also, though, this would be a great one because everybody this weekend, if you are a fan, you know I'm going to talk about. If you're not, maybe you'll watch. This weekend is the Run for the Roses. It is the Kentucky Derby. This is always the first weekend in May. So it's a great time to have people over, have brunch, and drink a lot of bourbon.
Until the race comes at
right.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, the race starts at 6 at night or 7. So you got plenty of time to get, happy.
And in the mood for
Right.
a 2-minute race.
Let's start that off. I want to start with a cocktail tonight.
Okay.
My normal thing. Yep.
I'm going to step aside.
Thank you.
It's Rob's show today.
Well, yeah. Okay. So we have some ingredients. We need bourbon whiskey, a wheated whiskey. So if you're not a big bourbon fan on American whiskeys, know that in order to be called bourbon, it has the mash, which is what they ferment. Okay, that has to be made of 50% corn. Then they can either do it all corn, or the distillers add rye or barley or wheat, or a combination of all of those to make their different flavored spirits. So when we say a wheated whiskey, that means it's the corn mash plus wheat that has been fermented to make the white dog, as they call it. That's the white lightning, which they then put in barrels and age, and it comes out like this. Okay, so we have wheated whiskey, a mixing glass. We always have, this is the week of the Derby, so some mint, because the mint julep is the big drink, but this is more of a Kentucky spring cocktail, so it's a little bit different than that. So we've got some mint, put it in the mixing glass. My ice is frozen together. Put it underneath the ice so it gets bruised up real nice. Okay. And we have our 2 ounces of bourbon whiskey. This is one of those great, these are those old-fashioned shot glasses that they have at bars with a line on them. And so if you look from the outside, it looks like it's full. Bartenders fill it from looking down into the glass, and that line is actually lower than the one on the outside. So it's kind of a fake, but it's to the line is an ounce and a half. So I'm just going to the top, and there's our 2 ounces of whiskey. A little more. Have a little extra all the time.
Question.
You ask anything you want.
Why are there ice in those 2 glasses on the table?
Because we're going to strain the drink into the ice. Over the glass. Okay. I have some raspberry syrup, homemade raspberry syrup. Now, syrup, as compared to a puree or coulis, as they call it, because we're going to use raspberry coulis later, is basically simple syrup, which is 1 part sugar and 1 part water, and raspberries, and you boil that on the stove and then strain it. So it's really a sugar syrup with raspberry flavoring added to it. Okay. And some lime juice. We have to have the lime juice. So another 3/4 ounce about for this. So it's going to be pretty much this full lime. 1, 2. Okay, these squeezers are the best ever. If you don't have one of these, they make green ones and yellow ones and orange ones, red ones. So the green's obviously for limes and the yellow ones for lemons. Can't live without it anymore. Okay, so I think I have everything there. And we're going to do the shake. Get nice and cold. Really got that mint. All right. Okay, now we're going to finish it with some ginger beer. And I think I need about just a couple ounces. Uh-oh, can you open that?
I can.
My hands are wet. There we go. Thank you. And well, obviously, why didn't we put that in the shaker with it? This is very carbonated and I would have had an explosion. Okay, there we go. Couple ounces. That was a couple ounces, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, another swirl. Get that all mixed in. Take off my little top. Oh, look at that. I think I know how to pour a drink. Besides Steph and I also spent many years behind the bar. Plus, in restaurants and all that, you have to run. So you know it all. Okay, so we have that. Some raspberries for garnish. Thank you. And well, there's already some mint floating in there, actually. Mint leaf on there. And there we go. So there's our two Kentucky Spring cocktails. All right. And I'll let Mindy taste. And I'll say cheers, everybody.
Cheers to the 150 running.
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 Did you drink already?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
The 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. Oh,
That's really good.
really
I mean,
good.
really, really good. It's gonna be hard to put this down. Wow. But we don't want one drunk chef.
No, we don't. Chef,
So-
can you double check the comms again to make sure the microphones are in play? Yeah, I'm not hearing the tap. I think we're coming back out of the mic on the camera again.
Oh, all right, let me try that. Yeah, it is. Okay, should be back. Yeah? All better?
Walk away from the cutting board for me. Give me a sound check. No, you're still sounding very far away.
Well, it says that I'm on the right ones. Hold on, let me close it up.
Hold on. My microphone working okay?
Oh, wait, no, wait, I just switched it to the other one, Josh. Okay. So,
Now,
is that better?
somehow it's sticking to the microphone on the cutting board.
Okay, how's my microphone working?
Both audios are coming through the same feed.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to live with something here because. All right, is that better? Any better?
No, no. It still sounds like you're away from the cutting board.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna go to the. Put it back on. Oh. I see what the problem is.
You were clicking audio and not microphone?
No, not at all, Josh. It's not picking up the mics,
Okay.
the receiver. It only shows two mics, and it's the computer mic, which is what it's going through. Here is the camera mic.
Leave
Is
that
that any
camera
better?
mic on. Yeah, that camera mic is nice.
Okay, because I'm right next to it, and then it doesn't even show the wireless.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird. That's
Well,
weird.
thank you.
Okay, so let's move on here. Technical issues solved for now. Let's see me leaning down and talking to the camera. Okay, so great cocktail. What a great way to start the day. Too bad it's not the weekend, but hey, we're retired, so every day is
A weekend.
Saturday, except for Sunday, which then is Monday is Saturday again. Every day is Saturday when you're retired. So much fun to be. So with our brunch, guys, we are going to move on, and we're going to do a soup. Start with a nice, cold, refreshing fruit soup. Okay, and we're going to do a melon soup, cantaloupe, right here. Nice ripe cantaloupe. Now I'm only going to need about half of this, but we're going to use the other half because I'm also the second course. This is going to be a fruit and vegetable salad, which includes melons and tomatoes and cucumbers and mint and basil, all sorts of good tasting stuff. Finish with some avocado. And then the third course will be a grilled Caesar salad, which is a really, really nice thing we've done before. And you might want to check and see if the grill is on. So when we get to there, it's already hot. And so let's start with the soup and that. So peeling and cutting melons. One of the first things we teach students in chef school and culinary schools is how fruit, as well as, I mean, they start with onions, potatoes, and then they move up. We get them to fruit eventually. So to do fruit, especially on a large scale, we don't cut the fruit in half and then start cutting it around. We actually peel the fruit while it's whole. And by the way, if you notice, I am using a serrated knife. It's not a bread knife. I mean, technically, people call it a bread knife, but it's also the best ever for cutting fruit. So rather than your regular chef's knife, it cuts right through the skins real well. So we cut off both ends. Hopefully you did nice and straight. Let me get rid of those. And then peel while it's still standing up and just work your way around and to the bottom and across. There we go. And just make sure you do have to cut deep enough. When cutting melons, you do have to lose a little bit of fruit. You don't want green on the plate because that doesn't taste good. And so just work your way all the way around. It's kind of like, mowing the lawn stuff or using a snow blower. You got to go over the area you just cut a little bit while you do the new slice. Okay. And here we go, the last one. Let's turn it over, inspect my work. Look at that. Oh, I got one little green spot here. And since Mindy will give me a hard time if I leave a little bit on it, because I always give her a hard time when she does it. There we go. Now you can cut it in half and remove your seeds. So top to bottom, split it open. Okay, now in the kitchen, I would typically use my hands, okay? But here for the show, I'll use a spoon, just scrape out those seeds and the little bit of soft flesh they're attached to, kind of like a pith, like in a pepper. You have the pith where the seeds are attached. Same with all the fruit. Okay, nice and clean. Do the other side, because we're going to use the whole melon. We use half for the soup and half for the fruit salad. Okay, scoop that out into your trash bowl. That's another professional kitchen trick. On your station when we work, we always have a trash bowl. We don't look for the can, because honestly, don't want to contaminate ourselves. So anything that we do, any food waste goes into the bowl, and then eventually you go and dump it if it gets too full. But it makes it really easy, save steps. You don't have to leave your station in order to do something, all right? So half of this I'm going to cut into small chunks, quick for the salad. So I'm just gonna slice and slice, okay? And I can cut it in half and go ahead and
Sir, can I taste test that?
be my guest.
Do not cut my fingers off.
No. They do look like cantaloupe. In
Oh,
fact, you can put the bowl back down here,
oh
please.
my goodness.
And if you go over and get that nice glass bowl I put over on the other side of it, you can come this way.
It's delicious.
Good. Okay. Okay. And there we go. So just leave it. Okay. So there we go. A little quick crosshatch there. There we go. And here comes the cantaloupe part of our salad. And I have all the other ingredients prepped. I got some watermelon to mix in there, and I have some tomatoes, cucumber. I'm going to show you how I do it when I get there. But right now, we're just going to move on with the soup. Okay, so you can put that to the side. Okay. So actually, okay, so I can do that while we're ready. This, I'm just going to cut into chunks. So when I'm ready to make the soup, it's all ready. Ooh, this side feels a little crunchier. Okay, right here. We're going to blend this for the soup. We're going to make a puree of cantaloupe. So again, zero waste. If I don't want to throw anything out. So if I only need half a melon for this, let's figure out what I can do with the rest of the melon. Okay, all done. Put the dough in the starter, just leave it on the blender. Okay.
Didn't I push the button?
So our cucumber, this recipe calls for a English cucumber. We don't want those long skinny ones. They have very few seeds, so they're nice. This also needs to be diced. Everything is diced. So now we can see how many seeds are in there, but really cut it into thirds. See, there's some, so I can just cut around that way. And we get rid of the seed center. Do the same thing over here. This one's got some less, so that. And you see, I put my bowl out of my reach, so I'm not using my trash bowl. See, I say one thing and do another sometimes. Okay. And off we go to the races. We should have had a recording of the bugle. Have the salad bowl, please.
I will bring it your way.
Yeah, you will. Okay, so we'll put a cucumber in there and leave that here because we got one more thing to put in that I'm going to do. Okay, now here, we'll set it here for a second.
Watermelon.
Go ahead and put the rest in. I have my watermelon diced. And I have another container. Okay. And I have some split cherry tomatoes. Okay. Now, the recipe calls for the multicolored ones, which makes it really nice. When I went to the store and I didn't like what I saw in the multicolors, they were expensive and they weren't that good, right? That's the way it always works. When they're inexpensive, they're great. When they're really expensive, it means they're terrible. So this will get tossed. And maybe Mindy will take this and do that. Okay. And she can do that in the background. Now, one more thing for this. I want to add some citrus to it. I mean, it's going to have, the dressing's going to be olive oil and lime juice. But I want to show you something about working with a lemon. And it's called Supreme, if you haven't ever done that before. You ever go to a fancy restaurant and you get the lemon or orange sections or grapefruit sections and things, but there's no pith on them at all, right? So what they do is called Supreming. So you take your knife, and it's just like peeling the cantaloupe, but you got to go really deep. See, I didn't go deep enough in that first cut. And expose all the fruit, cutting off all that white pith. Then this one has a really thick pith, this lemon.
That's the best we're gonna place.
Oh, yeah, I can make some bad jokes about it. Especially those of us in the Aortic Hope, we take lots of medications and things. So this one might be on the same meds. Okay, so we see, remove that. So now all you have left is a lovely little naked lemon. Okay, nice. So it's a Supreme. Then what you do, now it's messy. You gotta get your hands dirty, so you hold it in your one hand. The big thing is making sure you don't have seeds in there. So you take your knife and you can see the white lines of the sections. So you put your knife to one side of the section and go right to the middle, then go to the other side of the section and go back to the middle and pop that lemon out. See? And do this. Okay, there's still some, this is a seedy lemon. I wish they do seedless lemons. I think I saw some at the store. Okay, so just keep working your way around. You get all these nice little lemon sections. You can do this with an orange, you can do it with a grapefruit. If you want to be really fancy, you know, and just serve just the fruit like that. You don't get any of that, you know, the fibrous tissue that's holding the fruit together. So in and around, in and around. This is what we did at this part of the students' final. They would have to do this where they'd learn their knife skills. And when they were done, they would do all these sections and they'd have to line them up on their tray. They would have to do all sorts of cuts, you know, juliennes and batons and large dice and medium dice and small dice. And definitely they'd have to do a supreme. And we would inspect and see if there was any of the tissue left on it or not, and if they're broken. So there we go. See, perfect, nice little empty lemon. Now, you could take this and squeeze it because there's still quite a bit of juice in there, as you can see. But, so we have all these nice little lemon sections that you can put in, and they're nice to eat that way. Now, what we don't want are all of the seeds. And a lot of juice. Okay, there we go. And I can just set these here to the side for a second. And I think I'm about done for now. Nope, oh, the avocado. Here we go. Good old avocado, right? We all love avocado. Slice all the way around from top to bottom, give it a twist, break it open, right? Everybody's seen this on TV. Now, then you took my spoon. Please. What? Did you really? Go. I'm not even going to tell you what she did.
Did I just wash it?
I don't care. All right, so taking the spoons, don't try to go all the way down on the first round. Just go around about a third of the way. You can feel where the turn in the avocado shell is. Then once you make it all the way around, now go to the bottom and scoop it out. And see that nice empty avocado shell? And you got a beautiful little avocado here, okay? And we can do the old wacka wacka. The hard part is just sometimes getting the seed off. There we go. And we can do the same thing again. So partially the way in, just get around, loosen it from the shell, the skin. Avocado is great, you know. I think avocado oil is actually up there above olive oil as far as the monounsaturated fats. It's really good stuff. It's expensive though, even more so than good olive oil. Yes, and it's great for cooking because it does have a higher smoke point. Wait, it's great for cooking because it takes a higher smoke point as well, so it doesn't burn. All right, now what we want to do, this is a big bowl, so let me see. Okay, so I'm just going to slice from top to bottom, both sides. Okay. Now, what I normally do, what we do, just take your hand or a knife and see that. See how I patted that down and I made a really nice fan. Tap, 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 tap. Or you can use your knife to do that too. Get this nice little fan. Okay, well, I'm not going to use that yet. So I'm gonna put it back together and put it on a plate. Okay, and hopefully I finish before it all turns brown. Okay, well, I did cut it in that lemony. Okay. Okay, great. So salad's pretty much done. All we have to do later is garnish it and dress it. And that's where the lemons and the avocados and the dressing comes in. Okay. Now, I made a raspberry puree ahead of time. I was telling you about that, the coulis. I just have to find it in the refrigerator because it has disappeared. People have been in here and moved things around. Yep. It's behind Mindy's sangria. Okay, it was behind Mindy's sangria. So I have a little bottle here of raspberry puree. Again, this now was a 6-ounce box of raspberries, 4 tablespoons of sugar. I use powdered sugar actually, because it has a little cornstarch in it to thicken, and 2 tablespoons of water. So instead of being mostly water with a little raspberry, it's mostly raspberry with a little water and sugar in it. Okay, and then you put it on the stove, you bring it to a boil, let it cook for about 10 minutes at a good boil. And you don't even have, you can break them up a little bit, but they pretty much break down on their own with all the cooking. And then you run it through a strainer and just take what's left. And that's what I have. So the soup, really simple here. And all I have to do is I'm going to puree this in my blender. Sounds good. I like the other blender better. Okay. Thank you very much. So the ingredients for this are the melon. We have 2.5 ounces of, I can use, this is half and half, a little fatty, okay? You can use whole milk. You could use evaporated skim milk, any type of cream product you want. You want to use almond milk, or oat if you like, if you don't want the dairy, you can use that as a substitute. So we put that in. Okay. A pinch of, this is white pepper, and a teeny pinch of salt. Okay, just enough, not enough to make us to throw off our sodium for the day. All right, I mean, I've got like probably a 1/16 of a teaspoon, so not much, right? Salt. Yeah, I mean, so just let me see here, teeny tiny pinch. See, that's all I did was a little pinch of it. So that's half and half. So a pinch of each. And off we go. Yeah. Okay. And we're gonna let that run. Beautiful. I'm just gonna put it in the fridge for now. Hopefully it fits. Yes, perfectly. There we go. So we're ready to serve. That's going to sit in the refrigerator. Really should let that refrigerate a good 4 to 8 hours. Okay, so you want to make this early in the morning or the night before you have your brunch, and let it sit in the refrigerator at this point.
Could you review the ingredients again?
All right, so that was cantaloupe. So that was cantaloupe, half and half, teeny pinches of salt and pepper. And that's all we have in there right now. Okay, and cream. So I'm going to make it sparkling later. So I would typically, you can use either way. You can use like a Prosecco or Moscato, which is a little bit sweeter. You can use still wine if you wish. If you want, if you don't want alcohol, you can use ginger ale, or we can use some of that ginger beer that we already have. That'll give a great flavor. The ginger and the cantaloupe will play off each other very well. Or just leave it as it is. You don't have to have anything else really. And we're going to put some raspberry. You'll see when I put it all together. So that will do it. Okay. I'm all right. I'm done. Okay, so there we go. The salad, I'm gonna finish here real fast. Again, we want everything ice cold, so you really make this ahead. I'm gonna dress it. So I have my, well, I toasted some fennel seed, okay, for a little licorice flavor. And you know how I talk about, toasting rather than buying ground stuff. It's better to toast your own. So it needs to be broken. So I'm gonna just do it on my cutting board. A teaspoon. And really the easiest way, take a pan, just put it on top and just push down. I mean, don't be smashing and grabbing here, or it's going to, they're going to fly all over the kitchen. So there we go. So we got them there. Give them a little bit of a mix here. Make sure I get them all. Do it again. Yeah, I can hear them grinding up. Okay. There we go. And that's pretty good. So they're all crushed up. If you really, really want them to be, if you don't like the seeds, you could take your knife and kind of, let's see, when you do this, they jump all over the place. So you got to be real careful. So, okay, we're not going to do that. All right, here we go, Mindy. I have the salad back. Okay. There's the fennel. Thank you. And this is the olive oil and lime juice. All right, together. And Mindy's going to take the magic spoon right underneath. Toss, 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 and then put it in the refrigerator. Okay. And while she does that somewhere else, thank you. And then stick it in the fridge. Okay, there we go. Because that we want those flavors to meld. So that's why I'm doing it ahead. Not getting ready to serve it yet, but let it marinate in the lime juice and olive oil and the fennel all together to let those flavors blend, plus all the melons and such together. Okay.
Sure. Can you put the lemon and the olive oil on the day before and make fruit salad, or do you save that for the morning?
I would do that in the morning. I've done it the night before. It'll be fine. It's not really going to break up the melon very much. So it's really up to you, but fresher is a little bit better on that. So, I mean, you can get all those things cut without any problem. Not the avocado, because that's going to turn brown. So, but everything else can be done ahead of time, and then dress it and put the avocado on to serve it. I'm going to use one of the lemons. All right. Moving on. Way, that's out of the way. Yeah, want. I need to clean up just a minute, guys. I don't have the person underneath the counter doing it for me. We can take it down. But just, all right. Okay, a little bit of cleanup. So the next thing, we're now down to our fourth and final dish, which we'll put all together. So this is going to be the grilled Caesar. Now, has anybody ever grilled lettuce before? It's delicious. Romaine is a hearty lettuce, and it does hold up. Now, we're not going to cook it until it's well done. I don't want a limp dish rag of lettuce. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice small head. This will be for two, and I'm going to clean it. I'm going to look at it nicely. All right, take off the outer leaves that I think are just going to be too bitter. Okay, it's not, but this is really nice condition, this lettuce. So I think we can leave, well, that one needs to come off, and I think we're good. Okay. And then I'm going to cut off the top. These tops of the leaves are a little black, as always with romaine. Okay. Now, when you grill this, we want to leave the core in, because I want it to hold together. So leave that core in, then just take your knife and right down the middle, cut that baby open. Mindy's going to rinse it. Needs to be washed. She's going to take it out to the grill. Now, so when we grill it, she's going to do it really fast. You're talking like 30 seconds or so, because you have your grill, you want to just really get the grill marks on it. You want it to be warm and a little bit charred, but not, we don't need it cooked through. So that's the whole point of this salad. So, all right. So while she does that, okay. All right, so next big thing is the eggs. So when you have Caesar salad, let's talk about Caesar salad. Created in Mexico by an owner of a restaurant called Caesar's, and the owner's name was Caesar. And the story goes, it was late at night and people were hungry, so he went in the kitchen and created something with what he had. Kind of like this. It's funny, the same exact story for buffalo wings up in Buffalo. If you go to Anchor Bar and Grill, same thing. People were hungry. The owner went in the back. Oh, I got chicken wings. I got hot sauce. So he made buffalo wings and created them. So same thing with the Caesar salad. But that's, it's romaine lettuce, and croutons, and then it's dressed, right? The dressing is typically made of olive oil, mustard, lemon, Parmigiano cheese, and salt and pepper, and that's all blended together, and egg. So it's a garlic and garlic. So let's start again. So egg, oil, lemon, garlic, and cheese. So you're basically making a flavored mayonnaise, because you're taking the egg yolk, then you blend the oil into it and make an emulsion, and then add the other ingredients. So this salad, we're going to do it all separate. I hate the word deconstructed, but it's kind of what it's going to be. So what I do, rather than putting the egg into the dressing, I have a separate dressing made already with the olive oil and the garlic and the lemon all right here, and all the other ingredients are ready. Oop, then you forgot something. That's okay. So I use a poached egg for the egg. So it's kind of like a warm Caesar. It's a warm Caesar with the poached egg, everything. You'll see how it all comes together. It's really cool as well. I've served it quite a bit with friends. Now, the poaching eggs can be intimidating. They can be difficult. So what I've got, if we look over on the stove, there's a pot of water on the stove, and it's at a simmer, okay? You don't want it any hotter. You do not need a boil for poaching eggs. Because remember, an egg is totally cooked at 140 degrees. So if you put it in 212-degree water, you're just going to destroy it. Plus, all that action, all that motion is not good for it either. So you really just hot water. This is about 180, 190 degrees, where it's just starting to bubble from the bottom. So if you're looking at that's on the screen, you can see the stove with my finger showing you the water. You can see how it's just bubbling. That's perfect. That is perfect poaching temperature. Okay. We'll just set up another plate or a plate, and we'll just leave those there. So poaching eggs can be difficult, but it's really not. So take your egg, put it into a bowl. I've left it out for a while, so it's already room temp. Now the water, one of the tricks people do before you put that egg in is add a couple teaspoons of white vinegar. Okay, good old white vinegar. Just a little bloop. That's it. Why do I add vinegar? I'm not pickling the eggs. We don't want pickled eggs, so we don't put that much in. But acid coagulates proteins. So when you acidify that water, it helps the egg white, which is mostly protein, hold together and not spread out in the pan. And so it makes it solidify quicker and holds together. So we have our egg. We'll put it in a little bowl so it's easier to put in. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. It's already starting to get crazy. Now I'm going to do what's called the vortex method. Now the vortex is where we create like a little tornado inside the pan. And the thing is, this is really for cooking one egg at a time. So if you have a lot of eggs, you can do them in a larger pan. But this is just fun to show. And if you're doing a couple for yourself with someone else, it's really easy because you get really nice looking eggs, which I'll show you. Because another trick is, let me get this going so we can move on. So we take our spoon And I'm just going to spin, 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 spin as fast as I can. I did it nice. Okay, that water's spinning really nice. Drop that egg right in the middle. And you can see how it's wrapping right around itself. So all that egg white is staying right around the yolk. It's not going everywhere else when I put it in. So set your timer for 4 minutes. And we're off to the races again. So while that cooks for 4 minutes, let me just show you this. What's really cool, once you ever seen, you buy hard-boiled eggs, in the store, and they're packed in water. So water does not bother a cooked egg. So what I've done, and you can do as well, if you're doing this brunch, you can poach all your eggs the night before. So these are eggs that we poached earlier today, this morning. And as you can see, I mean, they're really, really nice. They're still soft. I did them the 4 minutes. And then you drop them immediately into ice water. You take them from the pot and put them in ice water. Then when you're ready to party or to serve, just take them out and drop them back in the pan of hot water and let them warm up. It takes about another 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes till the egg is heated through. Then you can take, so now instead of doing one, I could actually put all 4 eggs in this pot or use a skillet, right? Use something wider, rounder, and have that. You only need 2 or 3 inches of water, just enough to cover the eggs. You don't need, a full big pot of water to poach eggs. So you can then just drop them in there and let them warm up while you're putting the rest of the salad together. So I have those back here. That egg is doing very well. And so Mindy's grilled the romaine. Also have a lemon for the plate. I'm using my apron here. And so just for color, we've grilled the lemon as well. And there we go. So you can see it's really nicely grilled lemon, okay, to give us some color. So this will be part of the lemon portion. Okay. Wipe off the board real fast so I don't get a lot of schmutz on the bottom of the plate. Okay. Ooh, sticky.
Take it away.
It's okay. So I have my lettuce. So you see the lettuce got a nice little char to it. Okay. But it's not really wilted. Now you can take it and kind of press it down a little bit, spread it open. You can take your knife if you want and cut it a little bit just to let it relax. Okay. Or you can even, this one I'll just here, you can cut off the core and just kind of spread your leaves out a little bit. Okay. Because we need a place to put our egg. Okay. Lovely. So there we go. Anchovies. If you like anchovies, you can use those. All my other ingredients here, bring them around so I don't forget them. Okay. The anchovies I like to use, by the way, are the ones in the glass jar. Okay. I don't like the ones in the tin. They're typically don't get as nice don't look as good. So here's the ones in the glass jar. You can see how nicely laid in there they are. And you can pull them out with a little fork and they come out whole and they're really nice fillets. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're well worth it. Now you're saying, oh my God, the salt, the anchovies are so salty. Well, if you don't like anchovies, first of all, you don't have to use them. Okay, here's my timer, a little bit behind. I'm gonna leave that in there a little bit more. The water's not as hot as I want it. I'm going to, thank you. I am going to drop another egg in there. There we go. Bring that one up to temp. Okay. Well, I talk for another minute. So what you can do, and what I always do with these anchovies, the salt, right? We talk about the salt. Take them in a strainer, rinse them. Rinse them in a strainer. I'm going to yell to my camera. See, I love anchovies. They're so good for you. They're up there, they're part of that.
Fatty meat, fatty fish that's good for your health. A
Right.
little bit of salt. This is all, the only salt that you're using. It's minimal.
Right. But also, rinsing them does remove some of that fishy flavor that people don't like. I mean, I love anchovies on my pizza too. I'm one of those guys. Okay. So, okay. Now, if you want to be really fancy, take your anchovy and roll it. See, put one there. Take another one. Gonna roll it, put it over here, and I'm gonna save the others for when I have the eggs done. Okay. So I think we're about there now. Now that one just doesn't want to cook. There we go. Now, when you take it out of the water, you can't see this, but I can show you. Take a towel and just kind of dab it underneath, get the water off. We don't want watery salad, or even if you're making eggs Benedict, you don't want water, with the eggs. So there. Now we're going to set that right into the center of our lettuce. We'll give that person that white. Okay. And here's our other egg. Same thing. Okay. Turn that off. We're going to put some croutons around. We have to have the croutons. I love the croutons. Crunch, anything that's crunchy is my fave. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of the usual dressing. And I might be getting ahead of myself here. Okay, we're not going to dress yet. We're going to put this to the side because this is our warm course. So we would do this last. Okay. Let's pull out and finish that soup. Our soup's our first course. Okay. Here's our soup. I have some garnish in there so I don't forget it. Okay. Yep, we need to add our ginger beer to it. Just a little bit. I can do that in the glass too, a little bit in and a little bit. It will float. Just a touch. This ginger beer is really strong. Okay. Good. Little raspberry. Not what I planned to do, but okay. I got carried away. Now you can do that, thing with, this is so 1990s. Remember the thing with, you go to a restaurant and they, you got the spider web. So all you do, you make a circle or several circles, then take your knife and draw through like that. And if you want the bar, you can do it the other way too and go out. Okay, I know, we'll get there. Okay, I will bring it back. So see, they see it actually. Okay. So It looks really nice, but then we're not done yet. And I'm going to garnish it with a few blueberries, actually, some blueberries on top. And a couple pieces of mint. One in here. Oh, this is a nice big one. Okay. And there is our, and if you want, you can do a float, but I'm not going to because I don't want to ruin that picture. Okay. Mindy, would you take the cutting board now, please? You don't want me to stab you?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Do it yourself quite well.
Okay. So there's our soup. Let's finish our salad. Now, the thing I didn't do, this has basil and mint, just a small bunch of each, okay? And chiffonade, so that's where you just slice straight across. Now I could roll it up into the cigar like I've shown you before, or just, I had all the leaves already facing the same way, so really simple and easy, nice. And I'm gonna do one down the middle so they're not big, long, like spaghetti strands. Okay. Bring our salad together here. It's nice, fresh, herby salad. Oh well. I had a piece of basil for the center. I just chopped it up. Thank you. No, it's okay. We're good. Yeah, I mean, if you want to get one, that's fine. Nice top sprig. So mix this all together. Did you dress this already or no? No, right? Okay, where did our lemon juice and lime juice go? I did do it. Yes, I did. I must have. Yes, I wanted to marinate. Remember we talked about that?
Right.
Okay. So, okay, here we go. Move this out of the way. Bring this over here. Take our avocados that we so nicely arranged. And those on top. And do the other half. Turn around. This one I'm doing family style, obviously, rather than a full plate. Okay. And a little basil right here in the middle. It's a little green on green, but, or even you can put them over here. You can get 4 and put them on each corner. Or if you're doing individuals, you play with it. The garnish is up to you. So there's the fruit salad. So this is cantaloupe, watermelon, cucumber, tomato, olive oil, lime juice, fresh mint, fresh basil, all tossed together with the lime juice and all that. And then garnished with avocado and basil. Okay. Excuse me. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Oh, the fennel. Yes, there's fennel in there too. Fennel seeds. Okay. So with that, now we can finish putting together our salads. So there's this one. I have that nice, beautiful piece of charred lemon to go with that. I have some Parmesan shavings because we have to have Parmesan Reggiano. And this is the Parmesan Reggiano. This is the real stuff from Italy, not the American or South American Parmesan with an S. This is Parmigiano with the G. Okay, so we just sprinkle it around all the goodness, things that we want. Okay, there's enough. Got my croutons, got my dressing, and my anchovies, which I know, thank you. I'm gonna put one of those right across the egg. Okay. Just need a spoon, and now we're gonna dress it. Now you can do the dressing broken down too. I've done that. Just do little squirts of olive oil, little squirts of lemon juice. You can roast some garlic if you like, but it's just nice and easy, especially if you're entertaining, to have the dressing itself ready to go. And then just, dress the lettuce. And then some on the plate all around. And boy, do I smell the garlic. Finish that. Almost there.
If you can't eat garlic, what can you substitute?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're allergic to all those types of, if onions, garlic, or not, shallots, use anything that you like, really, just you can leave it out. A little cracked black pepper. Okay. And once again, we're off. We're off and running. So, draw this over here so we can get it all on one plate. Here we go. All three. Josh, I'm going to pick up the camera and move it so don't get nauseous. Tell me if I make a problem. There's our Caesar. Okay. Deconstructed, for the lack of a better word, which I hate, but again, grilled romaine, poached egg, anchovy, shaved Parmigiano, fresh. These are pumpernickel croutons, and a grilled charred lemon as well with a garlic and lemon dressing. This is our melon fruit salad. Okay, there we go. Sorry, it's really hard working backwards, but so we got cantaloupe, watermelon, tomatoes, cucumbers, fennel, basil, and mint, and then avocado with a lemon, with a olive oil and lime dressing. Absolutely delicious. And our starter is our cantaloupe soup. Okay, fresh melon soup with cantaloupe melon. You can make this with honeydew. You could, watermelon will be too watery, okay, but you can use any of the Crenshaws, Casabas, that, and even blend them. And that's just blended with some cream, a little bit of seasoning, and then finished with some ginger beer. I use that. We can use white wine. You can use Prosecco, any sparkling still wine. I even thought about using peach schnapps, okay, because the peach and the cantaloupe would be really good together too, but it would be a little overpowering. But if you don't like alcohol, just don't use it. Use ginger beer or ginger ale or sparkling water or none. It doesn't have to be a sparkling soup. So really, that's a great start. So the whole plate,
have a
I
question.
think. Oh, great. Because I think I've said more than enough.
Karen says, am I the only one pronouncing the cheese wrong? Out loud with a strong Italian accent. I'm so incredibly happy right now. John says he's drooling. And then Karen says, is the measurement for shallots the same as for garlic? Meaning clove for clove.
Okay, no. Because a shallot can be the size of a small lemon. Okay, so shallots are more like small red onions. So no, you would actually want to do that by a measure, whether it's a teaspoon or by weight, to do them comparably. Shallots can be very, very strong. They're very sharp. The only time I ever use them raw is in a dressing. Otherwise, you need to cook them, and they're great. I mean, they're kind of like a cross between garlic and a green onion and red onion. They're a totally different family. They're not part of the red onion family, though they look like it. But answer your question, no, you can do it ounce for ounce, but not clove for clove. Okay, because shallots are by nature much bigger. And so which way she likes the Parmigiano Reggiano compared to Parmesan? That's how you always know it. This Parmesan, that means it's made out of Italy. So they're in South America, Argentina produces a lot of it. Major manufacturer of the Parmesan. And then also up in New York, Belgioso does their, they do in Wisconsin, I'm sorry. They do their, different cheeses as well. They do, for domestic Italian style cheeses, they do a very good job. Okay. So any other questions? So we got John, we got Karen. Anybody else out there?
Oh, Melissa was in early. She says hi. Molly says hi, Mindy. Hi, Chef Rob. Hi, everyone. Chef Tom, obviously, he
Okay.
just said, looks wonderful now. I'm very hungry.
Great. And I'm very thirsty because Minnie said, I didn't do the drink. But here is our Kentucky spring cocktail. Delicious bourbon, raspberry syrup, lime juice, and ginger beer with some fresh mint. Okay. Oh, I didn't do it. I'm not violent. You're supposed to spank the mint before you put it in the glass. So remember that, Josh. Okay.
Yes, Chef.
And you might say, how do you spank mint? Do you know how to spank mint?
I
Just
do not.
put it in your palm of your hand and clap your hands. And that breaks down the tissue a little bit to release the flavor. But I can just give it a little tear. Anyways, here's to you. Cheers. I want to thank you all for joining us in the Aortic Kitchen. And I said cheers. I have to have a drink. Oh, that's really good.
It was very good.
I'm gonna have to make more of these.
He will.
I made lots of raspberry syrup. So
Do we have a spoon?
I did.
There it is.
Here.
I got it.
Okay. You can just drink it out of the glass, honey. So she wants to try that before we sign off.
Delicious.
Yeah, of course.
More ginger beer.
More ginger beer. She wants more ginger beer. She loves ginger. What we all do in this house. Take these out.
Right on. And once again, that was today was the what again?
Episode 7.
No. The Derby thing.
Oh, Kentucky Derby weekend. Yes, the 150th annual Run for the Roses at Churchill Downs in Louisville.
Never been to the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, Louisville, Kentucky. It is a
wonderful experience.
It's a party. I mean, it's a major party. I would like to see the tally for how many gallons of bourbon are poured that weekend.
Yeah, I can't remember if I went to the 100th or the 101st, but it was an amazing weekend. We drove from college without him. It was with
What a
another
place. So,
group of friends.
okay.
Any questions?
No more questions. We're going to sign off.
Next week, look forward to baking.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks, excuse me, the 15th.
Yes, the 15th of May. 15th of May at 6 p.m. We will be baking with Mindy, and her menu is all at the request of our producer director Josh, and she will be doing cake pops and mug cakes and a fruit crisp, which is one of her specialties. All things are really easy to make at home for those that are cooking, whether you're a survivor or a caregiver. They're really pretty simple to do, but they're all delicious. Nothing like a sweet treat any time of day. So, and then the next month, we're going to figure that out. Well, I know in a month from now, the first week of June will be, oh no, next week, I'm sorry, we're going to retract all of that. So watch for the announcements, okay? In 2 weeks is going to be our guest speaker from the Beef Council. And then the first week in June is going to be Mindy with cake pops. So you have a month
to
practice.
Yeah.
Okay. So she'll wait till the day before. Okay. All right. So thank you for joining us. This is Chef Rob and the aortic dietitian Mindy saying good night. Thank you for joining us in the Aortic Kitchen.
Enjoy and try to make it for yourself. We've got one thing that I always say. I think we've met the rainbow.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Have a good night.